Hello again. Welcome to Along the Rock, our podcast where we pay homage to the people of the Sauk Valley, the valley, of course, and the river that runs through it. I'm Mark Morris. I'll be your host, as usual, and I have two guests today, both from the Sterling School District. We have Brooke Dir, who's the principal at Franklin, and Heather Wittenauer, who is principal at Jefferson Elementary School, again in District 5 in Sterling. Thanks for coming up.
Yeah,
and,
you bet.
To somebody like me, as I said before we started recording, when I hear the phrase tech in the classroom, to me that just means that, well, yeah, of course you have tech in the classroom. When I went to school, I'm not even sure they had tech in the front office, let alone in the classroom. I think they were still using typewriters or something similar, maybe word processors. But tell me, Heather, what is tech in the classroom as it applies to you and to Brooke?
Okay, well, tech in the classroom has definitely evolved since when I was in school. We have teachers who are very skilled at utilizing our newest addition, which are smartboards, and they also pair that with document cameras, iPads. They use their MacBooks as well as a large TV that's mounted to be able to project different visual images for student learning. So the newest and most exciting news is that we have smartboard technology into our classrooms, which essentially puts an iPad, a giant iPad, right on the board for teachers and students to use.
Okay, so They have giant iPads now.
Basically.
Yes. Oh, I hate to be a cynic, but where does the money for these come from?
Okay, so the money has come from many different avenues. The Sterling Schools Foundation has funded some of our smartboards in both of our buildings. Our PTO has contributed, and then Tools and Tech accounts have helped with funding the smartboards. We even do Culver's nights, so if you ever see that broadcasted, yes. We're always raising money to fund the newest thing, and right now they're smartboards.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now we really haven't discussed the levels you teach other than we said elementary schools. Who can partake of this equipment, this magic to me, and what exactly do they like about it?
So right now in both of our buildings, it's our kindergarten through second grade that have the opportunity to work with smartboards. And I would say what I've seen most is the engagement that brings along. So lessons that we've seen where students can go up and they can move, for example, snowballs, and they're counting to 7. So they move those 7 snowballs into an area, or they can color in different shapes. So if it's a square, color that one green. Triangles, color it blue. It just adds that engagement for students instead of a teacher standing up front and explaining it. They're up there helping teach their peers.
Mm-hmm. I would definitely reiterate the level of engagement that our students are able to put forth. And I think that it turns the learning over and puts it into the hands of our students, which makes it more meaningful. The idea is that with the engagement, we'll have better application so that students have better recall when they are being assessed or we're challenging them for harder work requirements or things of that nature.
Okay. Been trying to picture how this would work for a whole classroom. So
yes.
Does this start as one student going up and engaging with it, or do you take a group, or how do you do that?
So typically the smartboard functions best with one person touching it at a time. However, many times, sort of like your carpeted area here, you'd have a group of students who were all ready and available, and then students who are showing demonstration of being ready as a student or a learner to be able to utilize that could be chosen to come up and display their knowledge. Mm-hmm. So it is used in a whole group setting. It's used as an individual using it at one time. And we even have kiddos that use it in small group sessions. For example, a guided math group could participate in something along those lines where the teacher is working at a table with a group of students, and the smartboard could be its own center or station, and then kiddos work together to collaborate and do a math game or something together. Its uses are endless, and it's hard to really gather everything you would need to know as an outsider without really seeing its capabilities. Yeah. But our students have really shown us in just a very short amount of time readiness to enhance their own learning through technology. And the generation that they're growing up in definitely warrants that. So
Now, there have to be some students who still don't have computers at home.
Right.
Whether it be, cell phones or regular laptops or desktops. How do you deal with that? Do they just find it so interesting because this is new to them?
well, twofold really,
Yes.
because some of them find it so interesting and others it's so familiar because it's set up very similar to technology that they see at home, like a tablet or an iPad or
A phone.
phone. Yep.
Sure. Okay.
And kids pick up on it so quickly.
Yeah.
Our staff is doing a great job learning all the ins and outs, but the students, you can show them one time and they're masters. It's truly amazing what their little minds can grab.
Yeah, I've
Yep.
got a 4-year-old great-granddaughter who is eons ahead of me. Let's put it that way without embarrassing me any more than I already am. But you need more of these, don't you? I mean, you've got them at Franklin and Jefferson, but
So we have
who else can take advantage?
Well, we would recommend it to any school district who's looking to enhance the learning, especially with their littlest learners, just because of the amount of engagement that we've seen increase in a short amount of time. Every classroom at Jefferson, kindergarten through second grade, including our special ed classrooms and our math intervention room, are able to participate in this. So we've been able to grant that technology capability to all of our teams, which definitely fosters a new level of collaboration among our teachers as they learn together and collaborate in creating some new and exciting lessons that go along with our curriculum to enhance that student learning. But yes, I think that we would recommend this to anybody who would be looking for ways to increase the understanding level of all kinds of curriculum within the classroom.
Do you know of other districts who are doing this just like you are?
I am not familiar with other districts that have the new smartboards. I know years and years ago, some had implemented them, but they have changed so much, and it's cutting edge technology.
It really is.
They're, I would say, they're better fit for student use at this time.
Okay.
And we had some previously, and that was up and coming technology then.
Right.
So I would say that as technology evolves, I think that we've all had to modify and change as well. And having that newest technology is really important for our students.
So I suppose at some point you two may have to write an article or two in one of these
Yes.
scholarly journals.
Yes, I
Here's
think
what we're
we should.
doing. This is what you should
And
be
here's
doing.
what you should be doing.
Wilmette or Barrington Hills or wherever.
Oh, yes.
Wherever they've got all the money in the world.
I guess so, yeah.
We'll be happy to do that.
Yes, for sure.
All
Yes.
right. Well, what you mentioned the educational foundation. Obviously, their big goal is to raise money. What if somebody hears this, is watching us, and would like to donate some more money? Who do they contact?
Absolutely.
Jim Spencer in charge of that?
Jim
Yep.
Spencer is in
Yep.
charge, yes. And we're very happy with all donations that we receive, and it's always given straight back to our students to enhance their educational experience at Sterling Schools. We're truly grateful for everything that they've done for our schools in the past.
Yep, I would second that. And I actually talked to an individual who has donated in the past to our tools and technology accounts, which goes, again, directly back into the hands of our students through, things our teachers use, whichever it might be. And he said, what better of a way to enhance the learning right now with our kids? And he was thrilled that his donation in some part went towards this level of learning. And so, and I remember hearing that and thinking, yep, we're putting that technology to good use. It's not just sitting in an account, waiting to be used. This is
Collecting a little
this
interest.
is what we need right now. Yeah. And so I talked to Brooke about that, and she said, you know what, you're right. Let's do this, because it was a big endeavor. And although we were able to spearhead that on the administrative side of things, our teachers are really the ones who led the charge and said, we really need this in our classrooms, and this is going to do these things to support the learning measures, and who can say no to that?
Yes.
And then on top of it, to have full teams of teachers who were prepared and ready to take that challenge, because it is not easy to juggle a classroom filled with children and all of the technology and the curriculum that goes into that, and the mapping and planning of even a basic lesson. So hearing the commitment from our staff on behalf of the needs of our students, I think really kind of set us in motion to really open up that avenue for our students.
Safe to say that kindergarten is no longer kindergarten?
I would say so.
I would say you are correct.
You would be amazed at what they know at such a low level. I mean, they're 5 years old and they can, I mean, we're amazed daily at the things that they can produce and the levels of learning that they're able to get to because of the support of their teachers through this technology.
And they go all day. It's a long day, and they're just continually learning and putting forth
full day
that.
kindergarten?
Yes. Yep. Putting forth that effort all day with their teachers' support.
And I would say that at Jefferson, we started with my first grade team. They really were proponents of this new learning, and they just said, "This is gonna help us, and here are the reasons." And I remember listening and taking notes and writing everything down, and I thought, I think we're really going to do this. I think this is going to be great. And then once we implemented the first grade smartboards, which was last year, word travels quickly.
Yes, it does.
And you know, everybody else was like, "Hey, how do we get one of those?" And so we both said, you know, this took a level of self-learning and self-motivation, self-drive that the first grade team really held in wanting to create this new learning atmosphere for our students. But without their desire to do that, I don't think that we would have been nearly as successful. And then and like I said, that word travels quickly. And then our kindergarten team really was interested in both of our buildings. And so we were like, okay, well, if we do this for kindergarten, you know what's going to happen next. Second grade's going to want, you know. So it just kind of has, it's just kind of like snowballed a little bit. But we had an option to either complete our classrooms or wait. And we decided to go for it. We were like, you know what, we're on the cusp of something really amazing here with our students and our staff. We're going to go for it. And the staff was 100% all in.
Yeah, the teachers' mid-year install, you know, they were just
Thrilled.
all in. I don't care when it occurs, get that board in my room, and they stay late at night and collaborate as grade levels. Sometimes we'll go over to Jefferson and they show all the tricks from their first grade team that initiated the first smartboards, and it's truly amazing, their dedication.
Even some of the older teachers, or are there any older teachers in those levels?
Yes,
there are.
We have some seasoned teachers, and they are just as dedicated as the younger ones.
Yep.
And picking up on all the tricks that smartboard can provide.
I almost started chuckling because just today I had a teacher tell me that her TV was, I think it's getting to be about that time. Like there's just something a little off. And so she said, so I had to really bite the bullet and embrace this brand new smartboard, because she's like, I've dabbled with it, I'm learning, but I'm not great at it yet. But because she didn't have her other usual mode of technology, because it just wasn't doing what she wanted for the day, she was like, so I just looked at one of my students and I said, I'm gonna need your help. And it's the student who really loves to be kind of in charge anyways.
Oh, no doubt.
And she said, you come on up, I'm gonna have you get things started while I get everybody, set up. She turned around and that student had the smartboard on, the unit was pulled up, and she had the lesson ready to go. That's how quick, because she came from another classroom that currently had a smartboard in use, and the math classroom, here I am calling out my math teacher, she was the one that just got a new board, and she's a year from retiring, my math interventionist, and she said, you can still teach an old dog new tricks. So she's excited about this, and she said, I was scared, but I really just embraced it. And once I saw one of my first grade students able to do this, I thought, I can do this. And that was just, I talked to her right around lunchtime today, because we were here. And I walked by later in the day and she's teaching away on that smartboard. So it just took a 6-year-old to kind of give her that little nudge and away she went.
Spurt of confidence,
Yep, I think that's really what happened. So.
Brooke Dir and Heather Wittenauer, thank you for coming in. And the two of you, I mentioned your names, you're both principals. So if they wanted to reach you, since you guys are so intimately involved with this tech in the classroom, specifically what you were talking about for the last 10, 15 minutes, how do they get a hold of you personally, each one of you?
Okay. Well, I mean, we're always around. So if anybody ever wanted to pop by the buildings, we'd be happy to give any information or even a quick demonstration. Even by walking through our buildings, you'd be able to see, what level of engagement a new smartboard could do for someone else. And of course, what our smartboards do currently for our students in our buildings. You can also call our schools, reach out by email. All of that is available on the Sterling Public Schools website.
Okay.
So
don't be shy.
Yes.
Right.
The students are not.
Yeah,
That is true. That is true. That is true.
All right. Well, thank you for coming up
Yes.
once again.
Thank you, Mark.
I really appreciate it. This sounds exciting.
Yes.
And just have to keep buying more.
There you
Yes.
go. Yep. Yep.
Thank you for having
We
us.
keep on getting the technology in their hands.
Yeah.
That's for sure. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Also like to thank our crew for making this program possible on a regular basis. And my name is Mark Morris. I hope you can join us next time as well along the route.